It is tax season, and you know what that means? If not, this video is for you, and you're probably going to be making some money. How are you guys doing today? My name is Apple. Today we are filling in the financial gap between schools and the real world. And today I'm going to be running you guys through how to file your taxes for the first time, why you would want to, and if you have to, and what is in it for you and what you're going to be getting out of it besides not going to jail, because there is always that. Alright, so do you have to file your taxes this year? Let me give you a quick and dirty answer to that. So the answer is no. If you are a dependent, and you made less than $6,350 in the year of 2017. So if that is you, if someone is claiming you as a dependent, so if your parents are writing you off as a dependent on their taxes and you made less than $6,350, then you do not have to file taxes this year. However, if that is not you, the answer is yes if you are anyone besides that, so anyone else. Anyone else. If you're not a dependent who made less than $6,350 in 2017, then you do have to file your taxes. But the good thing is you have plenty of time this year. Actually, you have sort of a 3-day extension this year. Usually tax day is on the 15th of April. That is the last day that you are allowed to file your taxes. And you get from the start of the new year, so from January 1st, 2018 to April 15th is the usual window. But this year, since April 15th is on a Saturday, they extend it to the Monday. However, the Monday of April 17th is actually Emancipation Day, which is recognized in the District of Columbia, so they're actually pushing it back to the 18th. So you get a full 3-day extension to do your taxes, which is more than enough time if you are a young person doing your taxes for the first time. 3-day extension is more than enough time for you to get those taxes done. And if it's not, if you have some circumstances coming up, there is also the 4868 extension form that you can file with the government, which is going to give you another 6-month window to get those taxes done. However, you still do have to pay by tax day. You just don't have to finish all your forms until 6 months out. That is something important to note with a tax extension. So that is answering the question of, do you have to file your taxes? Again, if you're a dependent making less than $6,350, the answer is no. However, anybody else, the answer is yes. All right, so moving right along, what is in it for you? Filing your taxes, what do you get out of it? Why should you even bother besides not wanting to go to jail because of tax fraud? So what's in it for you is, if you're a young person who's doing their tax for the first time, probably money, and could be a decent amount of money depending on your current situation. So if you didn't claim exempt on your W-4, which is something you can do if you had zero tax liability in 2017. So on the W-4, I don't know if you remember filling this out at any of your jobs, but there is going to be a bunch of places where you can put a 1 or a 0. And if you get to the bottom and you have all zeros, you can write exempt in this box. And that is if you have no tax liability in the year of 2017. You can do that. And then your employer is not going to withhold any taxes, any federal or state income taxes from your paycheck. You're going to be getting all of that in each paycheck. So there will be no tax refund for you at the end of the year if you wrote exempt in that box, because you were just paid that money out over the course of the year. So what the money that is in it for you is all of the money that if you didn't write exempt, you have been paying into federal and state income tax over your various paychecks. So if you're making less than about $9,300, you are in the 10% tax bracket. So that means your income tax is going to be 10% of your paycheck. All right, and then based on the state where I'm from, Minnesota, the income tax rate for me there is about 5.3%, 5.3%. and that is because I make less than $25,000 a year. All right, so just for example's sake, let's say someone who makes $5,000, so you make 5K. 10% of $5,000 is what you're paying in your federal income tax. So that's gonna be 500 bucks. And then for your state income tax, 5.3%, that's gonna be somewhere around, I don't know, 280, we'll say. So you add that up and you get $780. So if you made $5,000 this year, you are probably going to get a return of somewhere in the realm of 700 bucks. So not too bad for filing your income taxes. But this is not even to mention any potential deductions or credits you might be eligible for. So I did just make a video on tax credits and tax deductions that are available to the everyday person, how they're not just reserved for the rich people in society. So definitely check that video out above for information regarding that. But one that I will just mention here, because I think it'll be applicable to a lot of people watching this video, is the American Opportunity Credit, which is for anybody who is currently or has attended school at least part-time for a semester in the year of 2017. And that credit, it's eligible for anyone who's been enrolled at least part-time in 2017 and made less than $80,000 that year. So this tax credit can be worth up to $2,500, which is $2,500 off the amount that you'd be paying in taxes, and it is partially refundable. So if you don't actually owe any money in taxes, you can get a refund of up to $1,000. So that could be another $1,000 to add on here for that American Opportunity Credit. So you could be entitled to a pretty hefty tax refund. So I think it'll be well worth your while to look into filing your taxes and to definitely get ahead of that, because there could be a pretty good chunk of change waiting for you at the end of your tax forms. All right, so if you're running out the door, ready to file your taxes, just ready for seeing if you got a tax refund waiting for you, the first thing that you want to do is head over to the TurboTax Free Edition. And I'm not getting any kickback or anything from TurboTax. I have no affiliation with them at all, but this is the program that I used last year when I actually filed my taxes for the first time, and it's completely free, super easy to use. Took me like 45 minutes tops to file my taxes, get my refund. And so I'm just personally recommending this because I've used it in the past and I was very pleased with the service that was provided, especially for being a free product. So TurboTax Free Edition, free, and you're eligible for this if you made less than $33,000 in 2017, which if you're a college student, I'm guessing you did. If you made more than that, kudos to you, because that is some work you guys are putting in. So that is the first way that I would recommend to file your taxes if you're eligible for that. If you're not eligible for the TurboTax Free Edition, I would recommend just the regular TurboTax, which is going to run you anywhere from $40 to $100 to file. But again, if you're getting that refund, going to be well worth it, and well worth it to not get penalized by the government for committing tax fraud. So because I filed with TurboTax last year, they actually saved a lot of my information. So going back this year, it's super easy. I logged in just to check it all out a couple days ago, and it's so easy. They saved like all of my information. All I have to do is enter in a couple numbers off of my W-4s and 1099s this year, and they already have all of my like personal information and everything like that stored. So it's going to be very, very easy this year. I don't expect it to take more than like 30 minutes, to be honest. So that is a reason that I really, really recommend. TurboTax probably works with other places too, as long as you're consistent year after year. But I've had good experience with the ease of use and the how it just stores all your information with TurboTax. And then the last way that you could do your taxes is you could hire someone to do it for you. So hire someone, and this is good if you have like a complicated situation, maybe if you have income from a lot of different places and you're not sure how to report it all. But for the most part, for college students, this is really unnecessary, and you're going to be fine with just TurboTax Free Edition. It's very simple, very straightforward. You know the answers to all the questions they're asking as long as you have all your forms on hand. And yeah, so don't think you're going to need to resort to hiring anybody to file your taxes. And I will just mention that before you take one of these steps, you should definitely talk with your parent or guardian if you are in college, just to make sure that you and them are on the same page, so that you know if they're claiming you as a dependent or not, so that you know more about your tax situation and stuff like that, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and there are no mix-ups, no confusions between you guys, because that could result in losing some money at best and doing something illegal at worst, and you don't want to accidentally get caught committing tax fraud. All right, so again, like I said, it really only took me like 45 minutes last year filing my taxes for the first time. I had 3 or 4 different part-time jobs that I had to report, so I had a couple different sheets of paperwork and stuff, but really not too bad. A little bit of independent contract work as well, so I did have a 1099. But yeah, it was pretty simple tax situation for me, not a lot of stuff to report. But let me just cover what the different forms are. I've been saying W-2, 1099, so let me just explain what those are really quick if you're not totally sure. So a W-2 is a statement from your employer basically summarizing how much they paid you in the calendar year of, in this case, 2017, how much they paid you, how much was taken out in taxes, and how much was taken out for like Social Security and income tax and stuff like that. And then a 1099 is what you receive as an independent contractor or from your investments. So if you got any capital gains, if you got any dividends, that's gonna be on a 1099. And if you work as an independent contractor, say as a delivery driver or as any other kind of independent contractor, you are gonna be getting a 1099 stating how much they paid you and tax information and stuff like that. So you're gonna need these forms on hand for sure when you file your taxes. And additionally, a last form that I should mention for college students especially is a 1098-T, which is going to be sent to you by your school, which is another important information that you're gonna have on hand. And that is basically gonna summarize what you paid in tuition and what kind of tax credits, tax write-offs you can get from that money that you paid towards your tuition, towards any student loans, stuff like that. So that's what you're gonna need a 1098-T for. Additionally, if you made any contributions to your Roth IRA this year, which I know you did because we talked about this and you said that you're gonna make a Roth IRA. If you made any contributions to that, those are also tax deductible, so be sure to include those. Have your IRA statement on hand as well so that you can make sure you are getting the deductions from that. And yeah, last year I didn't have that much income from different part-time jobs and stuff, so I only came away with like $60 off my tax return. But I mean, $60 for 45 minutes was not too bad. I'll take that pretty much any day. Just have those forms on hand and it really won't take you very long at all. But additionally, you should take your time. You don't want to rush through this, make any mistakes, cost yourself any money, leave any money on the table. But yeah, take your time, but it won't take you very long, to be honest. And I think this should go unsaid, but I'm not a tax expert. I'm not a legal specialist in any way, shape, or form. So this is all just like information and my opinion.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
So take anything I say with a grain of salt, and I do recommend that you take your tax return to a tax preparer and have them look it over for you to make sure everything looks all right, because I'm just a dude talking to you on YouTube, and you should definitely see a professional tax specialist before you send in any legal documents if you're not confident about what you're doing. All right, so I'm just gonna leave you guys with a couple additional tips for filing your taxes, and then that will be that. So the first thing I'm gonna say is, as a college student, you always gotta be looking out for scams. There are gonna be a lot of people trying to scam first-time people filing their taxes, especially college kids. So definitely be looking out for scams. There are a lot of people who are going to try to be getting a hold of your information, and just make sure you're only giving your information to people you trust, and always verify that you're giving your information to who you think you are giving it to. Next, know what's going on with your taxes. So even if you do decide to go on the third route of paying someone to do your taxes for you, know what's going on with your taxes, know why you are getting the deductions you are getting, why you're getting the credits you're getting, and why your return or how much you're paying is what it is. It's definitely very important to be knowledgeable about your financial situation, because if you're not, then how are you gonna make it better? If you don't know what's actually going on, how are you going to try to make a positive change? So know what is going on with your situation, even if you're not taking charge of it yourself, if you're handing that off to somebody else. And lastly, again, when in doubt, talk to a professional. I am not a professional. I am not a tax specialist. I am just a dude on a YouTube channel trying to give you guys some advice, trying to guide you guys through the process of filing your taxes for the first time, because I know it can seem a little bit intimidating to be filing your taxes for the first time. Because again, making a mistake can at best cost you some money, and at worst put you in a situation where you have accidentally committed tax fraud, and nobody wants to be in that place. So talk to a professional. Anyways, that about wraps it up for the video, guys. If you do have any additional questions about your taxes, about filing your taxes for the first time, please let me know in the comments below. I am always around to be answering any questions that you guys have, especially on a topic like this where people probably do have a ton of questions that I couldn't get to all of them in a video. So let me know those in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Click on that bell icon to be notified whenever I put out a future video like this one. And if you have any friends also in college, also filing their taxes for the first time, be sure to send this video their way so that they are less intimidated by the process and realize that it's not as scary as it seems. It's pretty simple. It's free to do. Should take you less than an hour. And honestly, you're probably getting some money out of it anyway, so not too bad of a deal for you. That wraps it up for the video, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, and until next time.